Hey guys, Roadrunner. Look, I shaved. First time in 5 months I've actually shaved. Now I just need to get a haircut. But anyway, let's be honest with what I'm about to say. So, there's something that needs to be addressed. And it has been, but apparently this country doesn't get it. And this might make me look like a jackass. If it does, oh well. But truthfully, I don't think we have a quote unquote food problem. For example, a lot of times you'll see commercials, like back in the early and mid 2000s. There was a commercial from some company, I can't remember what they were called, charity company or whatever, but they were trying to raise money to send food over to Africa for starving kids. And that went on for like maybe 4 or 5 years, and the ad changed a little bit, whatever it was. But the problem is with that being said, I don't think that actually even worked because there's obviously still starving children. I mean, you look at the videos that have been taken the last 3 or 4 years, and yeah, I don't think those commercials and ads ever worked, or they just didn't donate the money properly like they should have. But anyways, that's beyond the point. Okay, look, the other couple months ago, somebody did a video of I think he was like an independent news journalist or something, and I think he was in like Massachusetts or Minnesota or something like that. And he went behind his local Walmart and he found 17 regular on the side of the road trash cans. And when he looked in it, he opened them up, and there's all this good food in it. And it was like food that didn't even expire for like another 4 months, 2 years, 3 years, etc. You name vegetables, meats, milk, etc. And you can hear a guy, an employee for the exact, in the background of the video hollering out that it takes one lawsuit. And I kind of call bullshit on that. Because here's the thing. All you gotta do, if they want that food, if somebody came over and says, hey, I want this, this, and this, okay, all they gotta do is sign a waiver. And they can't sue you for shit. That's my point of what I'm trying to say, is that we don't have a food problem. We got a waste problem. And what I mean by that is we grow so much food. We grow enough food to feed millions, maybe even billions of people. Yet thousands and close to millions of people still go without food. And the problem is that the government. I am gonna blame the government on this one, but not only them. I blame almost everybody, including myself. Even I'm at fault of this. We throw so much good food away. We don't think of where it can go, and it's not even human food. It's dog food and cat food and pet food and all that crap too. You can go dumpster dive behind a PetSmart, like I do, and you'll find bags of food that haven't even been opened or expired for that matter that have been thrown in the dumpster. And then there's some cases, especially in big cities like Houston, for example. If you went to a PetSmart and you went to their dumpster, they got the bag torn open like somebody put a knife through it because they don't want you getting that food, and it makes no damn sense. So what I'm trying to say is, we throw so much food out that we don't give second thought of what we should do with that food. I dumpster dive a lot for my food. Even before I decided to make that decision to go to the Navy. Even now, I'm still trying to. Stuck in Tennessee right now. I'm still trying to get back down to Texas so I can get all my shit done. But again, regardless of it, I got a dumpster dive for my food. I don't care where the hell it's been. If it's food, it's food. I don't give a shit. But apparently a lot of people do. They think, like, I can remember my mother was talking about how, when you grow, like, carrots, for example, a lot of people these days are, and I mean, unless you grow up in the country, people these days are so used to, like, the little bag of baby carrots and such, that when they see the big long carrots that come from the ground, They think, they see the different shapes and sizes that it comes in, and they think, oh, this is bad, and then they throw it away. And then that food rots. And it makes no damn sense. You just wasted food. It's pathetic. So what I'm trying to say is we need to stop throwing away food. And I'm not talking about good. I'm not talking about bad food. I mean, if it's bad and it's expired, and I mean when I say expired, I mean as in like it's growing mold and the milk is nasty, sort of thing. Yeah, throw that away. But when you have something that, whether it's been open for a couple of days and it might taste stale, or it's something you don't like and you don't want it in your pantry anymore, don't throw it away. Go give it to somebody who's homeless. Go over and give it to some homeless shelter. You know, don't just throw it in the trash and let it go to a landfill. That's pathetic. You know, look, America, I don't know what it is, but we got like, I think, 5 to 7% of the world's population on this planet. But somehow, no, we got 10%. But somehow we're wasting, we take in 25% of the resources on this planet. And we waste it. This country is so spoiled that people don't have to worry about running out of food. Because compared to a lot of developing countries, all we gotta do is go to the store. So let's say like Dollar Tree, my favorite store. All we gotta do is walk in, grab what we want off that shelf, pay $1 and some change, and not have to worry about it. But in other countries, especially like India and the Middle East and even parts of Asia, they gotta grow that food. They gotta trade for it. They gotta pay a pretty penny just to go over and eat something for the day, not let alone the week. You know, so when you're throwing that food away, think of what you're gonna do with it. Think of what's in it. Think, should I give this to somebody or should not? There's a thing we have that I've been doing for a couple years, and it's called white boxing. Uh, and you see this a lot, mainly in big cities like Houston, Galveston, Santa Fe, New Mexico, and all that. But let's say you see a couple of homeless kids, they're panhandling and such, and there's a guy walking down the road, just some random person, and he has a white box of leftover food, okay? So that's where the name white boxing comes from. He comes up to the guy with the white box and he says, hey, do you want the rest of that food in there? I'm really hungry or something. And the guy either says yes or no. And we call that white boxing. So basically, he's not wasting that food that he probably would have thrown away if it sat inside of the refrigerator for a few days. But basically, my whole point in this video is to say that our country itself, again, is so spoiled that nobody here thinks about what they're doing with their food. They eat it, they got leftovers, they throw it away. And truthfully, I think that needs to change. France, for example, of how they're helping out the homeless people, they have the grocery companies put almost expired food on the front of their store, and then the homeless people get to walk away and eat it. And then I was trying to remember something else. I think just to sum up this video, I'm gonna give a little story, okay? A friend of mine, who I go to church with sometimes when I'm in Lufkin, him and a couple of his buddies went out to Florida a couple years back, and they were given a tour of orange groves, how oranges are grown and processed and all that crap. And so basically, it was like, this is where the orange grove is, and it has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of oranges grown. And then across the street, right here, this is the street. So right here on this side of the street, in this little grove, is a fenced off area that you can't see. Okay, and he noticed there's a little hole where you can actually see in it. Well, when you look through it, there's these mountains and mountains of oranges. And he turns to his tour guide and he says, "Why are all those oranges over there? What is that for?" And it turns out those are excess oranges. The government won't let them give away or even sell those oranges because of the way the market works. And because of the market and the price of oranges and all that other crap, I can't remember the whole story of what he said, but basically the government won't let them. They put a restriction that you can grow these many oranges and sell them, but when you exceed that limit that we have set, it has to go to another field, and they rot. You're not allowed to give them away. You're not allowed to sell them. You can't eat them. The government won't let them. And I think that's one thing we need to look at. I think that's complete bullshit. You know, there's a saying in this world, and it is, there's gonna come a time when only those who know how to grow, hunt, gather, and shoot their own food will be the only ones left surviving on this planet. That's all I gotta say.